So, look at this fella parking right behind us. What a guy.
Thanks for boxing us in.
Fuck.
Protecting us from the wind.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of it like that. So what do you think is a valid spread?
No way.
What?
Their goaltender's number is 6'7".
Bro. I peeped that in warm-ups, too.
I'm just retarded.
Yeah,
That's
low-key.
awesome. That's so funny.
Oh, they're starting to wash go again.
It is. Are we really?
Hmm?
Very nice.
Why not?
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Pull.
I thought, like, Jewish people were nice at soccer. Right? Like, is that... I don't know. I mean, because they're, like, not American.
Israel is decent at soccer, yes.
Okay.
Actually, they were on pace. Israel was on pace to qualify for the World Cup, and then they got suspended from qualifying because of the wars that are going on.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaplan Field. Tonight is Veterans Appreciation Night, and tonight's contest pits the Yeshiva Maccabees against the Mount St. Mary College Knights. The Knights come into today's contest 0-2, having been shut out in their last two contests, and looking to get back on the board here in what is a Skyline Conference matchup with the Maccabees. Bob, what should be on the lookout here for tonight?
It should be an interesting match. First Skyline Conference match. The Knights will definitely be coming out playing hard. I've noticed the Maccabees, I don't believe actually have any substitutes, so I believe, again, the point is just going to be keeping up pace of play and outworking your opponents.
Again, as previously mentioned, the Knights fresh off two shutout losses in a 3-day span. And in a conference opponent like the Maccabees, this is the perfect chance to get back up on the saddle. And Bob, really, I feel like if you're the Knights, this is a game you have to have.
Yeah, absolutely, and the girls are definitely going to be out there being hungry to get a goal, just that first one, and from there they'll build upon that. But I believe this is going to be a very aggressive start from the Knights to try and find that first net.
So nothing. The pregame timer has run out. We expect both teams to take the field very soon. Yeshiva has played one game this year. I believe they are 0-1.
Yes, they come off a 9-1 loss to Mitchell College. The lone goal coming from junior business major Naomi Sigmund, who I do not believe is actually here today.
So both teams now taking the field. The Knights in white, the Maccabees in black. 45-minute halves. Bob, I'm ready for some soccer.
I'm absolutely excited. It's a gorgeous day. As we always mention, you can see the gorgeous Beacon Mountain. There's a waxing gibbous moon peeking out from the sky right above us on our right-hand side.
Did you research that, or did you just correctly identify a waxing gibbous moon? All right, perfect, perfect.
It's about 70% full currently, so in I think a few weeks it should be a full moon.
Good to know.
I took a class on that last semester.
That explains that. So gorgeous. Still technically summer, but it feels a little more like fall. I mean, we are past Labor Day. Hopefully everybody tuning in had a nice long weekend.
Hopefully.
Lily Tanko now at midfield for the Knights. And Bob, we're ready for some action.
You know it. I'm absolutely stoked. You just got to love watching a good football match.
Tanko kicks it away to Faith Welsh, and Bob, it's time to party. The Knights and the Maccabees underway live from Kaplan Field. DeLeon Portillo works to the sideline. Here's Isabella Barone. Barone back to Tondini. Tondini figuring out what to do with the ball. Tondini gets it back to, that's number 3, Maria Baldwin. Baldwin for Barone. The Knights being careful out the gate here with the ball. DeLeon Portillo picks it up. Back to Barone. Barone works around, still gets it back to DeLeon Portillo. Slow start for the Knights on offense, Bob, being methodical with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're just wanting to pick out those passes and play it slow as to not give the ball away in the midfield possession. Baldwin
to Welsh. And the big problem the last two games, as you and I have noted, was the Knights' ability to take care of the ball. Undoubtedly, they've made some changes and hopefully expect to see some better ball security tonight. Here's Hansen working it towards the middle, leaves it for Tanko. Tanko, that shot high, and falls right into the arms of the Yeshiva goalkeeper, Sophia Harrenson. Harrenson gets it away. That one quickly picked back up. That's number 10, Caitlin Schotter. Shot on net, turned aside by Harrenson.
Yeah, and to focus on your point earlier, I wouldn't dare say we've been careless in possession because any of these girls can definitely handle a soccer ball much better than I can, but we've definitely not gotten the type of possession we want to be holding for a 4-3-3 attacking sort of formation.
And of course, the ball having gone off Harrenson and out over the end line will be a corner kick for the Knights. The Knights really, 2 tough losses to at least open the home campaign. How good would it feel just to get that first goal tonight?
I think it's just the building pressure as the corner comes in here.
Mora sends it towards the middle. Nobody home. Yeshiva looking to get it out. Can they? No, they cannot. It's Barone for Hansen. Hansen fires. That shot ends up wide and out behind the end line, out of play. Harrenson to retrieve it and get it back in.
That would have been a crazy shot if Hansen got that right.
You can already tell, though, the Knights definitely more aggressive on offense. 2 minutes into the contest, they've already put the ball in their own attacking third for a change. And I believe, if you keep creating opportunities, good things will come.
Absolutely, and as you just get the ball in, you just got to get bounces. You got to keep putting shots on net, and eventually you'll find something that gets home.
So Harrenson yields the free kick duties, sending it away. Over the head of Tanko, tried to play some defense. That one's fielded by Nakarado. It's still on the Maccabees' end of the field. Gets it for Welsh. Welsh cuts inside. Good pass up ahead. That's Mora. Mora to the top of the key. Mora gets a shot off. That's blocked. Still loose in front and out of play. The referees deliberate. It'll be another corner kick from Mount St. Mary.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of corner kicks today, Lucas, because the Knights are going to be taking a lot of shots and a lot of deflections will probably be falling out of the back touchline.
And Bob, of course, 3 minutes into the contest, the Knights are already knocking on the door. Again, a problem the first 2 contests.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just, as the corner comes in here, the service and finishing just hasn't been there for the Knights.
Mora sends it away. Barone taps it towards the net. Harrison knocks it down, gets a body on it, keeps it out of the net. But, 2 shots on goal in the first 3 minutes. Good start for the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously it's really easy for a gentleman like me in the booth to say it's a lack of quality or something like that, but it's just really difficult when you're playing such high-end teams to be able to get those chances. So the built-up pressure of not scoring in 180 minutes of soccer will definitely be coming to a head here.
And here's Mora now waltzing it inside. Good chance here for the Knights. Mora still surveying, getting around the defense with ease. Leaves it for Nacarado, top of the key. Here's Tondini. Tondini rolls one towards the net. That one blocked. Still loose in front. Here's Nacarado, picks it back up, gets it to Schotter. Schotter rolls a ground ball. Harrison there to field it and make the play. So, still, the Knights aggressive early.
Absolutely. The Knights are definitely pressing the issue here. I think they have a very obvious tactic to just keep putting shots on net.
Harrison rolls it in. Picked up by Schwartz. That one quickly taken away by Mora. Here's Mora, the Knights' leading goal scorer last year, has a chance here, and she scores! Bob, there it is. Grace Mora, the Knights' leading scorer last year. It's only fitting she gets the first one of 2025 for the Knights.
You got to love it, and I love Chelsea Dagger playing over the radio right now. I absolutely love that song as our goal song this year. That's just a really exciting goal there, grabbing the rebound off of the shanked goal kick, being able to get on that right foot and just tap one home.
And there it is. The Knights can breathe a collective sigh of relief. The first goal of the year comes within the first 5 minutes of the contest. And again, if you're Mount St. Mary, there is no reason to take your foot off the gas.
Absolutely. And Grace Moore, a junior nursing major. Shout out being a nursing major and playing soccer full time. That is really impressive.
Nursing majors, I know here, or at least on the baseball team, they have a lot on their plates.
Definitely not an easy thing to be majoring in and playing a sport. So, Godspeed.
De Leon Portillo now is going to get it to Barone up here towards the near sideline. Barone gets around the defender, does so well, leaves it for Mora. That one off of Maccabee. It'll stick with the Knights. Barone to throw it in, gets it to Schotter. Schotter not guarded particularly closely. A pass intended for Tondini. That one rolls on past. Here come the Maccabees. That one quickly taken back. It's Desiliana Nacarado. Leaves it for Schotter. Schotter up ahead. It's for Tanko. Foot race. Cleared away. And out of play. So a solid defensive effort there from Hannah Yurovsky to knock the ball away out of reach of Lily Tanko. She had a step ahead on Tanko on the foot race, and good defense there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes when you just have no other options, you just have to put it through the back of the touchline. You just can't be risking the attacker that's on your tail getting the ball off of you and putting it into the net.
And here's Mora for the third corner kick of the game for the Knights, and the Knights looking to pick up another one here early. That one's still loose in front, bouncing around a little bit. Somebody got a head on it and ends up out over the cage.
Looked like Tanko finding that ball in the back post there. She just drove it a little bit too hard straight upwards, just trying to put that into the top of the net.
And the offensive approach, it's just completely night and day, Bob. The Knights are flying out of the gate here tonight.
Absolutely. They look a lot lighter. I think they just got out of their own heads. I think it's really easy to bog down on yourself when you're talking about 17th ranked opponents in the nation and opponents that are playing on the national stage. It's really easy to get in your own mind.
So Mora with the defense on Berkowitz to knock the ball away. Here comes Hansen. Hansen in alone. Hansen with room, fires just wide.
It's a great look there.
And if you're the Knights, this is exactly the start you wanted, and especially after being outscored a combined 10-0 in the first 2 games. This is the exact start you want.
Absolutely, and I think it's just hitting the gas pedal and staying on the gas pedal all the way through the 90 minutes here.
Here's Maya Berkowitz again to kick it away. She's done most of the free kicking honors.
Absolutely, and it's often a preference thing with goalkeepers if they're not comfortable with their own long ball free kicks. There's also a lot of tactics that come out of defenders taking goal kicks.
That's Berkowitz and Shira Rouhani playing hot potato. The Knights quickly pick it off. Here's Barone along the near sideline, sends it back towards midfield. That's Genesis De Leon Portillo. De Leon Portillo gets it to Nacarado. Nacarado looking for a way around. She'll give it up to Barone. Barone up ahead. Here's Schotter. Schotter giving it chase towards the end line. Will she be able to keep it in bounds? Yes, she will. Excellent effort there. Schotter will send it towards the middle, loose in front. Here's Tanko, collides with the goalie. That ball's still loose. Mora again, that shot blocked. Yeshiva needs to get it out of the danger zone, and they do.
Great build-up play from the Knights coming up the left-hand channel and being able to get a ball into the box there. Just couldn't find a head.
A great build-up play, but they're good interior defense from the Maccabees, something we haven't seen yet. as that ball will make it all the way towards the other end of the field, where it will be fielded by Juliana Owashko. Bob Owashko's been a topic of discussion on a lot of our broadcasts, played exceptionally well in the first game, got the nod in the second game. That would have been against Vassar on Sunday. Despite getting the starting nod, she was pulled at halftime, but she's starting once again here tonight. A shot sends that one towards the middle, loose in front. Crossed up was Harrison, but she's able to come away with it regardless.
And I appreciate you making your point about Owashko. Not to be mentioning her so frequently as we do, but she's been absolutely phenomenal in her first 2 games here as a first year. Despite the 5 goals against, she's had a .750 save percentage, and she's looked really good and very comfortable between the sticks.
And I am curious, as we have noted, Friday night against NYU and Sunday afternoon against Vassar, the Knights rolled with what felt like a goalie tandem with her and Elizabeth Linan sharing the goalie duties in their respective halves. I wonder if we'll see that again tonight.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be shocked depending if the Knights get out ahead here early, I would not be surprised. But it's not a frequent thing you see teams using goaltender tandems, actually.
No, and of course, I didn't expect it to be. I mean, it's early in the year. You're just trotting out who you can trot out, and especially in a game like tonight, you may have a little more flexibility to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it's not comparable when you're watching top-end football where they have world-class goalkeepers worth more money than I'll ever see in 10 years. But
so, again, taking the free kick for Yeshiva is Berkowitz. Quickly picked off here. Here's Hansen. Hansen leaves it for Tanko. Tanko, good job getting around the defense. Opts not to take the shot, gets it to Schotter, that one high and wide. So if you're the Knights, a lot of passing on the inside, but a lot of good looks.
Absolutely, and I think the Knights are just trying to not bog themselves down with forcing opportunities. So I don't think Harrison realized it was a goal kick.
And so it'll be Maya Berkowitz to do the honors.
But of course, you don't want to be forcing shots when you think you have the opportunity. So I really am liking the fact that the Knights are rolling these off to try and get those better, higher percentage shots.
Well, in games like that, it's easy to get caught up in rushing shots or getting out of your brand in soccer because, I mean, the Knights are probably favored in this contest. I don't think that's ridiculous to say. But it is something you can just get caught in a trap game, per se. I mean, just the Knights doing a good job just not falling out of their game yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the ball's played in here by Welsh.
Welsh fires that one on the ground and in! So Faith Welsh beats Harrison for the Knights' second goal of the game and is now 2-0. 2-0 Mount St. Mary. I was waiting for Chelsea Dagger. The Ox has been changed up here. But again, that's 2 goals in the first 10 minutes for Mount St. Mary. And Bob, the Knights appear to be rolling.
Absolutely. They look like they're off and running here, getting off to the races. And Welsh just with a service from the outside of the box there, just on the right side. It just seems like had a pinpoint onto the back post, and it just looks like the goalkeeper lost it and just fell right into the net.
So Welsh picks up a goal, and Bob, I have to say, I mean, a goal is a goal. That felt like a centering pass that just got under everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it happens every once in a blue moon, even at every level. It's just sometimes those disguised balls to the back post can just do that.
So the Knights now up 2-0 and looking for more. Tanko pass for Schotter. That one left a little short, and the Maccabees are able to take it away. Here's Welsh again, the recent goal scorer. Welsh for Nacarado. Back to Welsh. Welsh fires again off the crossbar.
That was a firecracker. That was almost 30 yards out.
I was going to say, that shot there from Welsh, taken from an impressive distance, goes just off the crossbar, and it stays 2-0.
And I don't even mind that look. Personally, as a soccer fan myself, I am in love with long shots. That is my favorite type of goal to score in soccer.
Well, it's definitely one that gets the people out of their seats. And, I mean, 5 shots on goal already for the Knights. Just a complete 180, and I'm glad to see the Knights rolling again. Here's Tanko now, completely unattended. We're trying to force the ball away. Good defense there from the Maccabees. Tanko now gets it back to Nacarado, gets it to Schotter. Schotter from outside. That one just high. So now the Knights are showing off a little bit here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Another firecracker of an attempt. Looks like there's some sort of pre-made arrangement to see who could score a worldie first.
So the Knights offense looking completely rejuvenated. And Bob, I expect to see a goal from the parking lot here before the night ends.
I would not be shocked if more long shots come out.
If these last 2 possessions are indicative of anything, it's the Knights mean business tonight.
Absolutely, and I think in a conference game, even against weaker opponents, you still just have to be all gas and no brakes.
And this was a theme of our discussions in our coverage of the first 2 games. This is a conference game. This one counts. This is going to count against the Knights in their playoff push. I mean, the first 2 losses weren't great, but they weren't conference games. So, I mean, it sucks to lose, but those didn't hurt the Knights in their playoff pursuit. As Tondini's pass, intended for Barone, good job keeping it in bounds here towards their near sideline. But again, like to your point, in conference games, you just have to foot on the gas the whole game no matter how that looks. Schotter's pass blocked, picked back up by Mora, and the Knights are going to try again. Mora working it around the top of the box, gets it to Welsh. Welsh from just outside, leaves it to Nacarado. Nacarado, good job getting around. Nacarado chips one towards the net. Harrison able to wrap it up okay. Now 6 shots on goal for the Knights. None yet for the Maccabees. Yeshiva now just trying to get anything going. I mean, the Knights have completely been in control through the first 13 or so minutes of the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't even know if the Maccabees have had a touch beyond their own halfway line. The Knights have just been all action here in the first half.
Maria Baldwin for Nacarado. Nacarado for Hansen. A pass intended for Tondini, a little too far out ahead. Hansen gets it back. He's able to deflect it to Nacarado. And if you're the Knights, I mean, this is what you expected to do, and I'm sure it feels good to be carrying it out now.
Absolutely. And as an offsides is called here on Tanko, I do believe it's difficult to get through a weekend where you don't score at all, but you're also playing 2 really difficult opponents. And the games technically do not count towards your playoff standing. So I think it was really good for the Knights to be able to play tough opponents and also be able to point out mistakes and be able to work on things that might have been weak spots in those games.
So the Knights just absolutely rolling. They have completely revamped both their offense and defense. A whiff there is going to turn into a chance here for the Knights. Here's Welsh able to get around. She'll leave it for Hansen. Hansen back to Welsh. Welsh waltzes in. Defender in pursuit. Is she going to try and go coast to coast? Not quite. That ball knocked away, fielded by Harrison. And so if you're the Maccabees, you have to find a way to string something together. To your point, I'm not entirely sure they've had the ball on the Knights' end of the field yet.
I don't believe they have. As another ball is played into Barone here off the left.
Now Barone will waltz it in all by herself. Ground ball. Harrison knocks it down, makes the play. But, I mean, if you're Yeshiva, you just have to, one foot in front of the other, just take care of the ball and find a way to put some pressure on the Knights.
Absolutely. And even if it comes from a long ball over the top, I think they just need to get out of their own half.
Tanko for Mora. Mora puts the moves on, now works it back out. Mora now here's Schotter in completely alone, and she scores. Beautiful ball movement there from the Knights. Turns into a goal from Caitlin Schotter. And, Bob, it is now 3-0 Mount St. Mary.
3-0 the Knights as Heads Will Roll is coming on the radio now. It seems like we're cycling through a playlist. Schotter found herself all alone on net, just hits a gorgeous daisy cutter into the bottom right corner.
And, Bob, I'll tell you, it feels good to have a 3-goal lead. The Knights have looked fantastic to start as they make their first set of substitutions. On now for Mount St. Mary, number 9, Isabella Milburn, and number 22, Rosalia Fornino.
As the Harbaugh family says, no one's got it better than us.
And now, if you're the Knights, I mean, you're not easing up. Obviously, we've already established that. But now you have a little more freedom to, play with your depth a little bit. Try people in new spots or play people who otherwise wouldn't. I mean, this opens up a whole This opens up a whole world of things for Mount St. Mary.
Absolutely, and I would not be shocked if we see a little bit more freedom and a lot more first years here on the offensive side of the ball.
Milburn shot. Harrison struggled with it a little bit, able to gobble it up anyway. And, Bob, we just witnessed a milestone. Congratulations to Caitlin Schotter on her first collegiate goal. As now here's Milburn with a chance. That one still loose. Yeshiva can't knock it down. Fornino gets it back to Barone, and the Knights are going to be able to start from scratch. Barone for Milburn. Milburn across the field for Nacarado. Good defense there, but Nacarado able to come away with it. Nacarado's pass picked off, and here's Yeshiva just trying to get it out of harm's way. They can't. Here's Barone for De Leon Portillo. Gets it to Tondini.
And a happy milestone, we got to witness in person, so hopefully that's one of many for Schotter in her college career.
First of many is Schotter's pass up ahead for Fornino. Fornino centering pass. Milburn in pursuit but can't quite get there. And that's 9 shots on goal in what is 10 shots on goal. Sorry, the scoreboard just updated. And we're 15 minutes into the contest, Bob. This feels like a completely new team. As Barone centering pass for Hansen. Hansen, good move inside. Deflected just to the left of the net, out of play. The referees commiserating. It appears they're signaling for a Mount corner kick. A little bit of deliberation about where the ball's to go. Nacarado picks it up, and it will be a Knights corner kick.
Yes, and it seems like there's a lot of freedom for the Knights to be able to roam on these lateral spaces and seeing a lot of these diagonal cuts coming in on the inside runs.
So Nakarado, here's Barone. Comes close to the ball. She'll just act as a safety net, and the Knights will do it from all the way from scratch. Barone, good move. In alone.
Let it eat.
Oh, good pass there, and Hansen knocks it home. It's 4-0. Bob, that was a perfect pass.
That was great, and I wouldn't quite say it was straight off the training ground, but there was definitely a design play there to get the ball to – I'm sorry, was that Hansen who took that off the corner?
That was Nakarado on the corner, Barone on the assist.
Barone, I apologize.
Hansen scored the goal.
Wonderful ball clipped into the back post there for Hansen to nod that home with the right foot.
And, you know, that's when you can hang on your fridge, too, both on the passing and scoring end. Just beautiful both sides of the ball there.
I say in a vacuum, that's exactly what you want to be doing on set pieces, and that's something they can look back on.
Milburn, that pass for Hansen looked like there's a miscommunication. It'll end up in the goalie box. Out comes Harrison to make a play. Harrison will roll it. And now Yeshiva, you're down 4. Just any way to get up off the mat, you have to find it. Now here's Welsh. Welsh for Hansen. That one a little too far out ahead. Hansen elects to let it go over the end line, out of play. Maccabees ball. And Bob, now if you're the Maccabees, I mean, you've given up 4 unanswered, and you have had, just, you know, to be frank, no signs of life on offense. You know, what adjustments are you looking to make?
Quite frankly, I'm unsure. I think just the passing they need some ball control to be able to pass the ball a little bit and try and get that ball over the top.
The free kick picked off by Hansen. Hansen gets it to Fornino. Fornino with some nifty ball moves gets it to Barone now. Barone waltzes in. Barone gets around. That's deflected in front. Here's Milburn. It's in! Harrison dove, attempted to make a play on it. That's number 9, Isabella Milburn, able to work it around the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. 5-0 Mount St. Mary.
Milburn, another freshman, so if I do believe so, that is also Milburn's first collegiate goal.
A night full of milestones, Bob.
A Knight's night.
A Knight's night, and we are happy to be a part of it, and we're happy all of you are a part of it. Another series of changes for the Knights. On comes Morgan Tubbs, Christiana Mackey, and Emma Mahali. And again, we talked about this earlier, but I mean, if the game is on its current trajectory and the game gets further and further out of reach, I just expect the Knights to completely dip into their bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're just going to keep legs fresh and just rotate girls in and out, seeing what works, who works in what positions. I wouldn't be shocked to be seeing people play out of position as well.
And here's Welsh now with an impressive amount of speed. Sends that one towards the middle. It's loose. Takes a bad bounce. Fornino had a play on it. Ball just, again, took a bad bounce, and that'll end up out of play.
And that's a difficult one if you don't catch a limb on that first time, because obviously a bicycle kick is not a viable option there. So for Fornino, just got past her upper thigh, and that's really difficult to bring that ball back down.
Throw in now for the Maccabees. And if you're the Knights now, I mean, you have an advantage that's been a disadvantage the last 2 games. Again, a main theme you and I have talked about, and that's depth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a massive difference when you play like an NYU who has 33 girls total. They have 20 people on their bench, and then you play a Yeshiva 3 days later, and they have nobody on their bench. So it's definitely a massive juxtaposition there.
A really good centering pass. Hansen can't quite come down with it. She knows she missed an opportunity there, and it stays 5-0. There's Maya Berkowitz again to take the free kick. Still 5-0. 26 minutes and counting down here in the first half of play. The Knights, 3 corner kicks, 12 shots on goal. 0s in both categories for the Maccabees. That one ends up out of play. That one fired in. Here's Hansen. Pass intended for Hansen. Good job. Does a good job getting there. Hansen works around the defense now. Inside the box. That one fired. It's still loose in front after Harrison got a hand on it. Fornino gets a foot on it, but by that time Harrison has it completely smothered. And the threat is extinguished for now. Still 5-0.
Another chance there almost, but Fornino's going to get to the ball quick enough, and obviously you're not going to start taking swings at a goalkeeper as their hands on the ball already.
And it just feels like here's Milburn now. Just the Knights are kind of creating opportunities at will here. As Hansen fires a missile, that one just goes high. But, I mean, that plays exactly into the point I'm making is the Knights are getting open and creating shots just seemingly at will.
Yeah, absolutely. And off the right side there, Hansen's keen to take those long shots. I do remember being a spectator last year and watching Hansen take one off the chest and score a full volley from about 25 out. So she definitely has that in her bag.
And the Knights just, I mean, we've already noted some of these shots have been taken from impressively deep. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those go in before the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hate to say it, but it reminds me of when you're playing on FIFA and you're up a few goals and you decide to just start messing around on the game.
Mackey for Mahali. Mahali fires. That one wide. And so the Knights just kind of pushing the envelope here with just how impressive they can make a goal.
Yeah, really. It seems to be they're trying to put on a shooting clinic here for everyone to witness.
Berkowitz to send it away. That one right at Fornino. Fornino is going to leave it for Hansen in the shooter's pocket, unable to catch up to it. Now Welsh giving it chase along the far sideline. Welsh works away around the defense. That one volleyed just out of reach. Mahali and Fornino are both in the area. The pass just a little too high for them both. And the Knights really just frankly running laps around the Maccabees defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to state the obvious, but yeah, it is definitely turning into a rout as they're already up 5-0 in the first 20 minutes of the match. But as we hit a lull in the match here, I'm intrigued, Lucas, by the Maccabees roster, how diverse they are in location from where they're from. 3 different countries represented on this roster.
And yeah, and you thought Vassar's roster was impressive. I mean, we went on a whole historical rant about the town of Sandwich for those of you returning. But yeah, a whole lot of diversity. I mean, there's a woman on the roster from Philadelphia. That's not too far from your neck of the woods.
Not at all.
That one loose in front. That one goes, rattles right off the crossbar. Here's Mahali, tries again. That one high.
The field goal is good as that ball will bounce into the back of the netting.
And the Knights up 5, but clearly that isn't enough.
Got to go for broke, I guess, right?
I mean, again, you haven't picked up a win yet. First conference game at home. I mean, if you're the Knights, why should you?
Yeah, absolutely. And last year the Knights missed out on the playoffs on, I believe, goal differential. So at the end of the day, as many as you can score in conference is going to help you at the end of the day. I just said it at the end of the day twice.
And I expect the Knights to take full advantage of that as a mishap there allows Hansen on the takeaway. Hansen waltzes in. Here's Mahali. Perfect centering pass. That one ends up just wide.
Coming in full stride, trying to catch that on the bottom of your left foot. That's so difficult on the weak foot there to catch that in stride with that.
Well, now the Knights have really just everything has looked perfect. And I think that's more of a testament to the Knights than to the Maccabees. A lot of impressive goals, and more importantly, you peel it back a few layers, really impressive passing, and that starts with ball security.
100%. That was gorgeous. And I think I topped my first sentence there because I believe I said that 3 times in that sentence.
Color guys have off days too, Bob.
Woof.
That was a long Tuesday. Going to school after a long weekend is always hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I fell straight to sleep after my morning class.
Here's Mackey now. That one never left the ground. It ends up just to the left of the net.
Worm burners are so difficult to track as a goalkeeper, especially on turf, because they just keep running and they're not going to stop.
And we saw one of those earlier in the game. Faith Welsh, her goal just snuck past the goalkeeper Harrison.
Absolutely. And they may not be so visually appealing, but they still cover the same distance and have the same speed as a shot in the air.
I mean, yeah, a goal is a goal no matter which way you slice it.
They don't ask how, they ask how many.
If you don't like goals, Bob, frankly, you don't like sliced bread. Here's De Leon Portillo now. The Knights on their end of the field for a change. Quickly worked its way back inside. Mahali leaves it back for De Leon Portillo. Good move to get around. Leaves it for Mahali. Mahali all the way around, looking to create some sort of opportunity. Gets a pass off. That's Welsh.
Very nice field switch.
Welsh now working it towards the far sideline. And this is where it comes in where the Knights can just kind of put the ball wherever they want it. Good pass. Mackey back to Welsh. Welsh inside. Welsh fires in. Sorry, I had a little trouble there figuring out if that went behind the net or not, but it is in. That's Faith Welsh's second of the game. Touchdown, Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. That was on the front poster. That took me a second to realize where the ball ended up. For benefits of sitting here in the booth about a mile away from the goalposts. But yeah, just a hard-driven shot to the front of the post. That's just a rough one for the goaltender to give up, but sometimes it just happens.
And Faith Welsh, her second goal of the contest, she becomes the first multi-goal scorer of the year for the Knights. And again, I don't expect any shift in momentum anytime soon.
I'll have to agree. And to mention last match's terminologies I was using, that would be a brace in soccer.
A brace. Remember You know, you learn something new every day at the office. There's a Washko. Washko has had a fairly easy go of things tonight. Has faced no shots, no corner kicks. Frankly, the ball hasn't come within 100 miles of her.
She could probably start reading her textbooks back there if she truly felt like it.
A lot of time, and it is, as a goalie, it is nice to have a 6-0 lead. Fornino centering pass. Here's Milburn again.
Wow. That's a scores. That's a goal scorer's goal right there. That's just a wonderful doorstep tap in there to be able to curl that away from the goaltender.
Fornino leaves a beautiful pass on the front porch for Milburn. She knocks it home. That becomes a brace for Isabella Milburn.
Attaboy, there we go.
7-0 as the Knights tack on the extra point.
First collegiate brace for the striker here tonight.
So it is now 7-0 Mount St. Mary. 20 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half.
And I believe that was Swag On. Is that what that song was?
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, that? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if we have goal songs for each girl or if we're just cycling through a playlist.
Soldier Boy, I tell him.
I do.
Here's Milburn now working her way around. Milburn looking for a hat trick now. Hansen gets a foot on it, leaves it for Fornino, and tic-tac-toe, and it's 8-0 Knights.
Wow. Turning into a football score here. It seems to be the Jets have scored a touchdown and punched in the 2-point conversion.
It's an octopus for the Knights. Tic-tac-toe. Beautiful passing. Fornino there just to knock it into the wide-open net. And, Bob, I mean, I will say every goal, that's 8 of them now, but every goal has had some beautiful passing leading up to it.
Absolutely. In a game where you're up so much and the quality of play is obviously different, it's still a very good indicator to be seeing such gorgeous passing. It would be different if cheap goals are going in or if you're just scoring long shots.
And now here's Hansen with a whole lot of daylight. Hansen, pass intended for Milburn. Milburn does a good job going back and picking it back up. Milburn will chase it towards the end line, elects ultimately to let it go.
That is Rosalia Fornino's first goal of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
First collegiate goal for Rosalia Fornino. So that's 3 milestones now in tonight's contest.
There we go. We're getting it right. We're witnessing all sorts of history tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, having 3 hour-and-a-half classes and then technically clocking into work after a 3-day weekend has never been kind to anybody.
Woof.
Certainly not us.
Long one.
It has been kind to the Knights, though. 8-0.
Absolutely. And if I don't believe the team uses these broadcasts for their film study, but if they do, shout out to the team. We're really happy we got to witness this.
And there's a whole lot more to witness. Only 18 minutes left in the first half, Bob.
18 and 45 and change, so we got a lot of miles to drive.
And after the game, by popular demand, we have post-game interviews coming up with the player of the game, whoever that may be, as Morgan Tubbs fires a missile. And an impressive save there from Harrison.
That was way to get her hands up to that and find that ball, because that was a heat-seeking missile finding its way into the top corner there.
That ball was absolutely smoked. And as I was saying, again, new by popular demand, post-game interviews with the player of the game as Mahali, that shot goes wide, and the head coach. So stay tuned. I believe that's going on our athletics Instagram.
Okay, that's where you'll find us.
I believe so. We're pretty hard to miss, Bob. We get around.
We really do. We're out and about. We are active. Very active gentlemen.
That is Berkowitz on the goal kick. Straight to Fornino. And the Maccabees have had a lot of trouble just with that free kick, goal kick, however you want to put it. That one chipped. That one goes high of the net. Everyone just seems like it ends up right in the lap of Fornino.
Yeah, really, and that's just a testament to me to press the goalkeeper, which is something we lacked in the games over the weekend. Is just being able to get that pressure in from your forwards and your wings.
So the kicking duty has been shifted to Alana Schwartz. Schwartz will take this one from the right side now. Schwartz will send it away. That one closer towards the middle of the field. Tubbs gets a foot on it. Able to knock it down is Milburn. Milburn for Mackey. Mackey will leave it for Welsh along the far sideline. Welsh gets it to Maria Baldwin. Baldwin for De Leon Portillo. And a line change, it appears, coming up for the Knights. There's 4 reserves waiting to come into the game. Barone. That pass ahead. Nicely done. Woven nicely. There's Milburn. Milburn looking for her third. Will set it towards the middle. It deflects off of Tubbs. The Maccabees play some interior defense. Able to get it out of harm's way, but not out of the goalie box. Quickly taken back by Tubbs. Here's Hansen. looking for her second of the contest. Tries to get inside, can't do so. The Maccabees come away with it and just have to get the ball out of the danger zone, and they can't. Now here's Mahali. Mahali fires, gives it to Fornino. Fornino centering pass, nobody home. Milburn giving chase, can't quite catch up to it. Off the head of Mackey. Fornino leaves it for Barone. Barone gets around Fornino, gets it to Milburn, gets it back to Fornino. Fornino back to Milburn. Milburn for Mackey, top of the key. That one blocked. Key is a basketball term, by the way. I don't know where that came from. Here's Welsh.
When you commentate so many sports, sometimes the terminology is just going to mix together.
Welsh for Mahali. That happens more than you'd realize, actually. As Mackey's pass, tried to get it inside, can't, able to come away with it. It's Fornino back for Mahali. And the Knights just have completely dominated time of possession.
Yeah, absolutely. As we hear some sort of motorbike pass by, they definitely have, and I would not be shocked if it's an 80-20 or a 90-10.
That one sent in. No Knight at least got a solid foot on it. That one ends up out past the end line. And now there's a massive plane overhead. So, I mean, planes, trains, and automobiles galore here on Powell Avenue.
Great movie.
That is a great movie, actually, yeah.
Phenomenal movie. What do you do for work? Things. Do you work in an office? Don't need one.
Isn't that Uncle Buck?
I think so.
Because he's getting, like, grilled by Macaulay Culkin, right? John Candy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a good scene.
That one fired in towards the middle. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is Steve Martin and John Candy. Steve Martin tries to get home for Thanksgiving. Something happens, and he has to, like, go home with John Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is a good movie. Now here's
expansive ball knowledge of Lucas and Bob's movie forte.
Sophia Light gets it away. Kellyanne Moran, both new into the game. You know, when you're raised in a household where movies are, you know, sacred, you pick up on this kind of stuff. Sends that one towards the middle. Now here's Mackey inside, can't get around. That one's correction. That's number 15, Angelina Robinson, also fresh into the game. A whistle, and it'll go the Maccabees' direction.
Yeah, absolutely. As later Gen Zers, as we're on the slightly older side of Gen Z, I feel like we were born into a really nice generation of movies and film.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was nice because all, like, the brilliant movies, they came out like 20 years before we were born.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we didn't have to wait for any of those.
But they were established already. Although, could you imagine in, I think it was 93, when Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, and wasn't Hacksaw Ridge, Saving Private Ryan, I think it was, were all out in theaters at the same time.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that would have been
like, could you
insane.
Imagine you're taking a girl out to get ice cream and go see a movie, and you have 3 Oscar-winning films in theaters? That's insanity.
That must be nice.
That's absurd. I'm jealous. Now you're like, hey, do you want to go watch the new superhero movie? Oh, which one?
Now here's Tubbs all the way inside and completely alone. Impressive effort there from Morgan. Tubbs puts the biscuit in the basket. It is now 9-0 Knights.
That was a great one. This is, I don't know which song this one. Sorry, that was a wonderful run. Grabbing the ball off the rebound there and just walking it into the net and sliding home.
And the Knights just complete domination. 18 shots on goal. Half of those have turned into goals. And the Knights are just on fire. Works it all the way around midfield. Here's Tubbs. That pass picked off, and now the Maccabees trying to make some magic happen. They can't. Here's Tubbs, the recent goal scorer. Tubbs works her way around. Gets it to Mackey. Mackey all the way around. It's Moran. Kellyanne Moran giving chase. Moran sends that one towards the middle. Nobody home. No, it's loose in front. Robinson got a foot on it. Couldn't quite corral it. Out behind the end line. We've received word from the higher-ups that this game might get called after the 7th. Sorry about that.
False information, actually.
False information.
Or information we were allowed to spread.
Either way, free kick coming for Yeshiva. Now here's Light. No, sorry, that's Mackey. Leaves it for Milburn. Now it's Robinson back inside for Mackey. That one recovered, saved nicely
to the bottom of the net.
by
Had
Harrison.
movement to it.
Now it's Welsh for Mackey, for Mahali. All the way towards the far corner, that's Robinson. Robinson sent that one towards the middle. Here's Welsh looking for her third of the game. Harrington comes out of the net, corrals it nicely. 11:42 to play here in the first half. Knights 9, Maccabees nothing.
Maccabees. I do love that mascot. I love the Maccabees.
There's some good mascots here in the Skyline. We were having this discussion off the air the other day. As Fornino gets a foot on it. Milburn. Now it's Robinson. Robinson gets that one on target towards the net, ends up just to the right. I mean, we have some good ones. I mean, Maccabees or the Knights. Mount St. Vincent has the Dolphins. Sarah Lawrence, unfortunately, doesn't have a baseball team, but they're the Griffins. Having a team
really, really cool. Naming the Griffins is pretty fire.
Having a team named after any sort of mythical creature is pretty cool.
Always. I think we're looking Mitchell, that Yeshiva last played, or the Mariners. They have a really, really unique logo for a Mariner.
They did have a nice logo. I mean, you and I were doing research before the contest. Here's Welsh all the way inside looking for her third. She'll drop it off. That one, score! And there it is, double-digit goals for the Knights. It's now 10-0.
Touchdown and a field goal, as I believe that was Angelina Robinson who slid that one home on the front post.
So now clock stops at 10:45. It is now 10-0 Knights. And Bob, really just complete domination.
Yeah, so you're up to 20 shots on goal. That is a lot.
And half of them have turned into goals.
Absolutely not. The fortitude of the Maccabees to be able to continue to come out here and playing and just keep trying to push the issue to get the ball across the line.
And the Maccabees really just unable to get anything going. No signs of momentum just at all. Now here's Mahali. Mahali cross pass. That one off the head of Hannah Yurovsky. Knights able to maintain control. Working it now is Evie Dowd. Dowd leaves it for Welsh. That one rifled towards the middle of the field. Here's Fornino giving chase. Fornino able to get loose. Fornino, she scores. That's her second of the contest. 11-0.
And a brace for Fornino here in the late stages of the first half.
Whole bunch of braces. I believe that's the third woman of the game with a brace from Mount St. Mary.
Braces all over. Brace for impact, as they say in San Jose.
So the Knights, frankly, just lighting up the stat sheet. Running clock now as we are now single-digit minutes, under the 10-minute mark.
And not to mention from that earlier conversation, the Maccabees are a similar notion to the Knights, because the Knights, obviously, a knight is a crusader of sorts and protectors of castles and such in medieval time. And Maccabees were Jewish rebels who were warriors who liberated the city of Judea.
Interesting.
In the Bible. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Moran sends that one towards the middle. Nobody home. Tubbs giving chase, able to knock it down. That ball's still loose. Little trouble coming up with it for both sides. Here's Mahali now able to knock it down. Leaves it for Tubbs. Now it's Light. Light along the senior sideline. It's Moran. Moran fires that one. Here's Fornino. Fornino a pass. Nobody home. That one ends up out behind the end line. Maccabees ball.
I think Fornino was just trying to hang up a through ball there for... I don't know where my sheet went.
And now, Bob, I mean, if you're the Knights, frankly, this is how you expected this one to go.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of that, like, you hold your breath at first when you're not sure when the first one's going to go through, and then once the floodgates open, it's just...
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And just an outstanding effort so far on both sides of the ball, and I wonder what approach they'll take to the second half.
Yeah, I think they'll take their foot off the gas pedal in the second half.
Robinson, and tried to get it to Fornino, ends up out of play. And so a mishap from the Knights on offense, which tonight has been rare.
Yeah, it's been a very productive night from the Knights. They've been very few and far between to point out mistakes.
Now it's Mackey. We'll get it to Moran right on the sideline. Moran leaves it back towards midfield. Here's Sophia Light. Light figures out what to do with the ball, gets it to Milburn. One of what seems like 1,000 people with a brace here tonight.
Yeah, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts and a contribution from everybody.
Here's Welsh. And that's what I'd say is one of the more impressive parts about this, is all the goals. Frankly, I mean, multiple people have multiple goals, but for the most part, it's pretty diverse on the score sheet.
Absolutely, and I think it's as ball's played in here to the back post.
Moran rifles that one towards the middle. It's Welsh. Knocks it home. 12-0 Knights.
Moran to shake off that pressure and just get a gorgeous left-footed service into the back post there. That was just easy as pie for Welsh to put home.
And I believe that is a hat trick for Faith Welsh, her third of the contest. Again, makes it 12-0 Mount, and Welsh, the first player with a hat trick.
That is impressive, and I wish I knew if she's had any in her past collegiate career, but if it was a first, that would be really cool.
I'm sure we'll find out from public address here in a moment.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, my bag is not that deep as a color man.
Under 7 minutes to play now. So Mount St. Mary just on cruise control by this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the phrase wreaking havoc, but they definitely they've come in to do what they wanted to do, and I think they can just continue to wind down the clock.
The statement has been made.
Absolutely.
Welsh for Mahali. And that's now 12 goals on 22 shots, which means there is higher than a 50-50 chance that a shot the Knights have taken tonight has gone in, which is absurd.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. That's efficient. Very efficient.
Moran leaves it for Tubbs. Tubbs for Light. Light from way outside rolls in. Harrington has a little trouble with it, but ultimately able to keep it out of the net.
That a heavy thudding sound off the foot there. She hit that hard.
That had some velocity to it for sure. Good job by Harrington to corral it.
Absolutely. The turf ate that up a little bit, but that was a hard hit ball. I would not be shocked if some parking lot shots are taken here towards the second half.
I mean, up as much as the Knights are, you certainly have freedom to do so. It's just a matter of how the Knights decide to play the rest of the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if the Knights are gonna per se be looking for as much link-up play and pressuring as hard for goals, but 12 goals is not going to hurt you in goal differential. So if you need the goal differential for the Skyline standings, it's definitely not going to hurt you to grab one or more. One or two more goals towards the end of the match.
There are countless different ways the Knights can play this. So, I mean, frankly, I'm curious to see which direction this ends up taking. I mean, it's more than enough. 12, obviously. Corner kick from Mahali just left in for Welsh. The Knights looking like they'll draw up a play. Some sort of designed formation as Welsh gets it to Moran. Moran on the ground. It's fielded by Milburn. Milburn to Mackey. Mackey to Tubbs. Tubbs fires. Scores. Tubbs puts it in the back corner of the net. And ladies and gentlemen, that is another one for the Knights. Lucky number 13.
Hard hit shot there. Tubbs gets it off of the back turn to the goal. Gets a gorgeous turn and just hammers one home with the right.
4.5 minutes and counting down here in the first half.
I'm intrigued by this. Is this pickleball going on? There's like 30 people on the tennis courts over there.
Nice. It's a beautiful evening out. Certainly, if somebody wants to come spend the night outside, I can't say I blame them in the slightest.
Not at all. It's very, very nice. I was sitting out front of my dorm building earlier in the quad. It was wonderful outside.
It's gorgeous. Truly a beautiful campus here, by the way, at Mount St. Mary College.
Absolutely. For any potential incoming freshmen tuning in, you should definitely look into seeing our school.
Of course. Light for Welsh here. Welsh, of course, with the hat trick. Welsh gets it to Mahali. Little tussle for the ball. Mahali able to come away with it. Mahali for Light. Light puts the moves on. Good job getting around the defender there. Light for Mahali. Sends it backwards. It's Welsh. Welsh again for Milburn. Milburn able to chase down the ball, knock it out of the Maccabees' hands. Now here's Tubbs. Tubbs for Mackey. Mackey to Mahali. Mahali has to give chase to it, able to run it down successfully. Gets it to Moran towards the far sideline. Moran gets it to Robinson. Robinson giving chase. Is she able to keep it in bounds? Unfortunately not out of play. It'll go the way of the Maccabees.
And the aspect of having no substitutes is definitely interesting here. As the Maccabees are down 13, they can't make any substitutions. So all 11 starters are still playing.
And that's, of course, the difficult part. I mean, that's where we talked about depth coming into play. As here's Mackey with room. Mackey sends that one towards the middle. Harrison wraps it up. I mean, depth is a luxury. And again, that just seems to be a recurring theme for every game the Knights have played so far. And we were talking about this earlier, the roster listed, at least the ones that are given to us in the broadcast booth, much more than 11 people.
Yeah, they have a 19 roster here, so I don't know if there's travel policies or if academics take priority or if there was personal reasons that they didn't bring 8 of their 19 registered players, but definitely an intriguing form to come out with just 11.
Robinson tried to get that one towards the middle, couldn't. Now here's Mahali. Mahali for Fornino. Fornino gets it all the way back to Welsh. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Now here's Light. And the Knights have definitely taken their foot off the gas in terms of at least trying to score.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not always a great look when you're up this much and you're pressing the issue overly hard, especially against a team with no substitutes available.
Moran sends that one towards the middle. Milburn giving chase towards the end line, able to keep it inbounds. Sends that one all the way out towards for Moran. Moran to Evie Dowd. Gets it to Mackey for Milburn. Milburn unable to corral it, gets it out of the way, gets it back to Dowd, gets it to Moran all the way along the far sideline. 1.5 minutes to play now. And the Knights, it feels like just playing keep away right now.
Yeah, not a lot else you really have to do when there's 1 minute left and you're up 13. So there's not a lot of incentive to try and score again.
The Maccabees giving chase, just trying to get it out of the goalie box, where really it feels like the ball has just been all game.
Yeah, it's been very intriguing to see the possession percentages here, because I still don't believe the Maccabees have touched the ball past their own halfway line.
1 minute to play now here in the first half. The Knights up quite the amount here on the Maccabees on what is a lovely Tuesday night, Veterans Appreciation Night.
Of course. Our appreciation night, thank you to all of our veterans.
Oh, of course.
I have a lot of family members that were veterans, so I do appreciate everyone out there that has served our country very much.
As do I. Thank you all very much for your service. Now Mackey leaves it for Fornino. Fornino wide open. Fornino will get it to Light towards the top of the box. Light gets a kickoff. That one not hit as solidly as it could have been. Fornino able to pick it up on the rebound. Now it's Welsh.
It was an attempted volley from the parking lot. Just didn't catch it quite right.
Welsh for Mackey. Mackey works her way around the defense. Good job there from Tubbs to get a body on the defender. 6 seconds and counting down here in the first half. Tubbs. Here's Welsh. The Knights opt not to go to the buzzer beater, not to go for the buzzer beater, and that takes us to the end of the first half. At the end of the first, it's the Knights 13 goals on 24 shots, and the Maccabees no goals on no shots. Bob, I mean, I feel like that first half was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a genius for saying it was a good half. It's definitely a lot of good passing there, which I think is a great indicator from the Knights. It's not difficult to get off and away if you have a superior forward offense or something of the sort. A lot of teams like to feed their best strikers in mismatches, but the Knights have chosen not to do that, and I appreciate that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now halftime. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me, as always, is Bob Hauk. We will be back in 10 minutes for the second half of action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of action here at Kaplan Field. It is a lovely Tuesday night, and the Mount St. Mary Knights currently lead the Yeshiva Maccabees 13-0. And frankly, I mean, the score of the game is pretty self-explanatory. The Knights have just been in the driver's seat completely. I mean, 13 goals on 24 shots. Yeshiva, no goals and no shots. And according to the stat sheet, the Maccabees have had the ball on the Knights' end of the field for 0% of the game. The Maccabees, they've playing defense the whole game.
Yeah, it's they've been on the back heel the entire first half for a full 45, and it's an impressive testament to the Knights midfield and their defensive line to hold the ball in the attacking half for all 45 minutes.
46 total shots for the Knights compared to none for the Maccabees.
Wow, that's a big number.
Yeah, and Bob, really, there's not too much more to say. I mean, the Knights have just been laying down the law for 45 minutes, and I expect them to lay down the law for 45 more.
Yeah, and I don't know how many substitutions, but I can at least see that Knights have subbed out first-year keeper Iwashko for junior keeper Wanan. Apologies, I should know our own team by now.
And that's been a theme for now all three of the games you and I have had the pleasure of doing together, is the Knights have rolled out a tandem for each of these three games. One goalie has started the first half, and then the second one comes on in relief.
Absolutely. And the first 3 games make enough sense when you're playing non-conference games. You have new faces in town. But this one also makes sense when you're up 13 goals. You don't need to keep the same goalkeeper in the entire half. Or the entire 90 minutes, I apologize.
So, I mean, we've been talking about this. I mean, the Knights really have a lot of room to work with. I mean, up 13, I can't imagine. I mean, obviously you want to come out with intensity, but I can't imagine they'll come out with the same goal-scoring intensity up 2 touchdowns.
No, definitely not. And it'll be a little bit of a drag for the Knights to pass the ball around so much and hold on possession, but obviously you really don't have to put in a whole lot of effort here. Or I shouldn't say effort. You don't really have to put in a whole lot of thought. You can basically hit cruise control. You're up 13.
I was going to say, I mean, there's not much pressure on the Knights here, if any at all. 13 goals and a half is insanely impressive.
Absolutely. And on the Yeshiva side as well, I can't imagine they really feel like being here that much longer because they have a fairly decent drive back home to the city.
That is a long drive. About an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know what
2
part
hours?
of the city they're in. They're not down towards Staten Island, are they?
I've heard Manhattan.
Manhattan, is that where they're at? That would make enough sense.
The Maccabees will, I believe, open with the ball to start the second half.
I believe that should be the case because the Knights kicked off half 1, so half 2 should be the Maccabees.
On comes Alana Schwartz, presumably to midfield. So Schwartz will direct Sabrina Linden, and Linden will have the opening kick of the second half.
And for our wonderful folks back home, the black and blue Maccabees will be attacking towards the left. The white and blue Knights will be attacking towards the right.
That's blue.
What, our secondary color?
No, the Maccabees.
Yes, I believe so.
I have genuinely thought that was purple the entire game.
It is a very dark blue.
These lights are throwing me off a little bit.
They are. At least on the Maccabees main logo, it's blue, so I presume that's also blue, but I have no clue.
That's not ridiculous to say. I mean, their baseball team is blue when we played them.
I actually like their uniforms, those all gray ones with the blue highlight.
Oh, of course.
I don't mind those at all.
Now here's Morgan Tubbs working it towards midfield, gets it to Caitlin Schotter. Both goal scorers on the game. They'll get it to Hansen. Hansen has 2. So a whole lot of love on the score sheet. The Knights 13 different goals coming at all different angles. Multiple people have multiple goal games. Morgan Tubbs, Faith Welsh, Rosalia Fornino, and Caitlin Hansen, and Isabella Milburn all have 2 goals.
That's a lot of 2s, a lot of deuces.
Spread the wealth, as they say, and it's gone swimmingly for Mount St. Mary.
Absolutely, and you have to think, obviously, an offsides here called on Tanko on the far side. You have to think going forwards and into more games against other competition, spread the wealth seems like it could definitely be an option, a very viable option to continue growing on.
And there aren't many games like this where you get an opportunity to really get everyone involved. And the Knights have done exactly that here tonight.
Absolutely, and obviously you're not going to play the same team every time and the same type of competition every time, and everyone's different, but being able to pass the ball around and take our time and the Knights being able to play their own game is definitely working in their favor, and I believe they'll build on that further into the season.
And being up 13-0, I mean, that notwithstanding, obviously, the Knights have looked really good. I mean, going back to the fundamentals, really good defense. I mean, the Maccabees haven't even had the ball on Mount St. Mary's side of the field. 25 shots, 13 goals after being shut out the first 2 games.
Yeah, definitely a good bounce-back game and a purely dominant game at that as well.
And so of the homestand, of the 3 games we've done over the course of the past week, I mean, the Knights now have a +3 goal differential, but after being shut out the first 2 games, I mean, really that's quite remarkable.
That is really remarkable to bounce back like that after conceding 10 goals over a weekend span like that and being able to jump out, score 13 in 45 minutes. That's really impressive.
And the Knights, frankly, just a runaway train now. Now here's Welsh. Welsh has 2 goals. Mistakenly, the broadcast, I attributed Welsh to having a hat trick, which hasn't happened yet, so I sincerely apologize. That's lack of information on my part. Welsh works it inside, opts to get it to Schotter. Schotter passes behind her. It's De Leon Portillo who gets it all the way behind her for Isabella Barone. And the Knights definitely just being more careful. I mean, they're not running up the score, just working on passing now, all the way back to the basics.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not much of an incentive to be pushing the ball upfield to look for more goals when you're up 13. I mean, 13's a massive score, and it's not going to hurt you in conference standings, but it's also kind of just an understanding in soccer where you don't need to overkill your opponent, of course.
Welsh for Hansen for Tubbs. That one gets away from Tubbs. Hansen able to knock it down, and the Knights will just continue to pass the ball around. It's Nacarado to Baldwin. Baldwin on the ground to Schotter. So, I mean, multiple people tonight, Bob, with their first collegiate goals and multiple people with their first collegiate braces. So really just an impressive offensive effort all around.
Of course, it's great to see that, and our number 9, Isabella Milburn, with a brace. You have to love to see your number 9 scoring goals. Obviously, college is a bit different because I believe it's mostly just whatever number is available, but your number 9 typically is your highest goal scorer. That's usually your leading striker, so it'll be good to see Milburn get back and active into future games later down the road.
Number 9, that's a good sports number.
Number 9 is just wonderful. I love the 9. 9s are for your strikers, 7s and 17s are for your wingers. Those are my favorite numbers.
And that's
great move there.
7, 17, 9. I mean, hold on. I didn't realize that numbers, they meant a certain thing in soccer. I hadn't realized that.
Yeah, usually your number 1 is reserved for your goalkeeper. Your number 9 is your striker. There's a shot.
Here's Tanko inside the box. That shot blocked. First shot attempt of the second half, I believe, for the Knights. Here's Tubbs. Tubbs gets it to Hansen. Hansen already has 2. Hansen around. That pass deflected, but it's picked up by Nacarado. Nacarado gets it to Welsh. Welsh for De Leon Portillo. De Leon Portillo has that pass blocked. Ricochets back to her, and she'll send it to Maria Baldwin, who's standing inside the midfield circle. Baldwin to to Barone on the outside. De Leon Portillo gets it now. That's Schotter on the inside. Here come the Knights. Looking to tack on one more. Perhaps that one knocked down by Harrison. Still loose in front, and it's in. There it is, the first goal of the second half for the Knights. 14-0.
So the extra point goes through. We have a 14-0 score. A deflection on the goal and seemed to get tapped home. I believe that was Tanko on the finish.
There's a mess of people in front. The important thing is the ball found the back of the net. And a good night gets a little bit better for Mount St. Mary.
Always. It's always a great night when you're winning a game, and it's an even better night when you're winning by this much.
Tanko just pickpockets there. Hopefully she's okay. Everyone appears okay. Here's Barone. The Knights working on their own end of the field, which is a rare sentence, at least for tonight.
Yeah, really. And it's definitely an impressive factor to have 0% possession or opponent possession time in your defending half. That's rare.
That's just a testament to the Knights. Just absolutely sweltering defense. Yeshiva hasn't been able to string anything together all game, really.
The Knights are just zipping this ball around so efficiently on the ground, and you've just noticed Maccabees and black jerseys just chasing after it most of the night.
And again, for Mount St. Mary, just the perfect statement win. 1-0 in conference.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-0 in conference is a great way to start the year, no matter the opponent. So it's definitely awesome. And I believe by goal differential here, the Knights are going to jump up to the top of the Skyline Skyline standings. I apologize. So when you're going off to check your daughter's stats and the Lady Knights record in the Skyline, you're going to see us sitting on the top after tonight.
Tanko gets it to Nacarado. Tanko, I believe, was credited with the most recent Mount St. Mary goal. making her she would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different goal scorers tonight for Mount St. Mary.
That's extremely impressive to spread it out that much in a 14-goal affair.
So, I mean, almost a full starting lineup of Knights have found the back of the net tonight, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would have to say in that sentiment, I appreciate you, Joe Dolan, for not overkilling a weaker opponent, and I appreciate you, Lady Knights, for not overkilling a weak opponent and being able to spread it out like this.
And this just, I mean, frankly, again, depth, main issue of the last 2 games, the last 2 losses for the Knights. And depth finally favors Mount St. Mary here tonight, and they've made full advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely not a silver bullet, but I think it's definitely a talking point for them in team meetings after the fact to conversate over the everyone eating mentality and be able to spread the ball out like this.
I mean, I'm sure that was a goal going into the game for the Knights. I mean, this is a game where you knew you may be able to get away with something like that. As Hansen walks it inside. Here's Tubbs. Tubbs does all right. Sends it back towards the middle, catches a body out in front, and it's loose. Here's Grace Mora. Mora puts the moves on, does a good job getting the ball out of harm's way. Here's Schotter. Schotter intended for DeLeon Portillo. She likes to let it go. Fielding it now is Maria Baldwin. Sends that one on the ground for Desiliana Nacarado. Nacarado for Tubbs. Tubbs for Welsh.
Really getting a lot of game time practice with the entire team sheet here, Lucas.
Welsh for Baldwin. I mean, 3 games in, I'm getting the hang of it.
You definitely are. You definitely are.
Here's Hansen, sends that one towards the middle of the field, sets it up perfectly for Schotter, and she scores.
Firecracker just off the ground there, keeps it real close to the turf and just knocks it in the back of the net.
Beautiful centering pass. And again, Bob, every goal tonight, I mean, there's a lot of them, but none of them have been cheapies. Beautiful setups and beautiful finishes on all 15.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great thing to not be seeing cheap goals go through in a rout victory. So it's definitely nice.
So Schotter hammers home her second of the contest, and she becomes 2, 3, 4,
Is that
5.
the 10th goal scorer?
She becomes the 6th Knight tonight to score multiple goals.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're right. You're right.
And so, really, just death by 1,000 paper cuts. The Knights' goals grow on trees tonight.
Yeah, all the seeds that have been planted are starting to grow for the Knights.
And again, this just statement win, feels really good to get that first conference win, and really in a demanding manner. I mean, no matter who you play, 15 goals and counting is nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely not. And of course, every defensive philosophy and different defensive shape is different. You're going to get away with different things, but 15 past anybody is definitely not a number to skip over.
Baldwin for Barone up along the far sideline.
And I have to say, I feel like we're sitting in the twilight zone right now by ourselves with our cameraman next to us as we hear crickets chirping around us in the pitch black darkness.
Yeah, I mean, as we've alluded to several times, I mean, our broadcast booth is a folding table on the sidewalk overlooking the soccer field. It's a lovely setup. The people make the home.
Oh, of course.
But definitely not as crowded as it's been.
Definitely not. No, it's a little odd without parents swarmed around us.
Which is really a shame because this is a gorgeous night. I mean,
It is a really, really nice night.
Really nowhere you'd rather be than outside on a cool. I mean, it's pretty much fall now, right? I mean,
more or less, yeah.
I know it's still.
We're at least out of the dog days of summer, so
right.
Yes, I would call it fall.
I mean, yeah,
as a Northeasterner, yes.
No, of course. I mean, it's hard because at home in California, you only have one season, and that's hot. And here it's nice. I mean, because once it gets past Labor Day, I mean, I feel like you can call it fall, and nobody's going to get mad at you for it.
Yeah, definitely. I believe the equinox is the 23rd of September, so that's when official fall starts. But it definitely is feeling like fall now.
Yeah, but you don't think September 22nd, and you're like, yeah, that's summer. Like nobody has ever said that.
Definitely not. Although I will have to say, my first year here, when I was expecting it to be cooler, like how it is now, my very, very first year when we were both first years, and I remember it being like almost 80 degrees in September. And I was like, what is going on here?
Well, yeah, it's the weird thing because you want it to be fall so bad, but it just doesn't seem to cool off until right before Halloween.
Yeah, really. No, definitely October is your cooler months.
I've grown to appreciate falls out here, by the way. I mean, they're gorgeous.
Wonderful,
I mean, Mount Beacon has come up on the broadcast a lot. It's right across the river. I believe you guys can see it on camera, at least see parts of it. But when the colors start to change, Bob, man, there's nothing like it.
It's just gorgeous. And on top of that, campus itself was such a lively, well, I don't know if I say lively, but such a green-filled campus. When it comes fall time and the leaves start changing, it's definitely a pretty place to be.
Gorgeous campus. No notes, frankly.
Yeah, no notes at all. I mean, you're wearing a UW sweatshirt, University of Washington. It's no UW, but it's definitely its own little unique place.
Well,
we got our own bubble here.
To each their own, of course. Beautiful night here in Newburgh, New York. The Knights up 15. As the Knights, they've showed they aren't afraid to score here in the second half, but definitely they're being a lot more careful. Lots of passing, and I expect, frankly, just to see out the rest of the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And doesn't seem like there's too much of an issue to press the envelope closed here, because obviously you got 30 minutes. There's no silver bullet that's going to take you home here automatically.
So the Knights just passing, and I'm sure honing their skills. It starts with the fundamentals as Mora sends it back for Barone. Barone, good pass there. It's De Leon Portillo. De Leon Portillo gets it to Welsh. So after that 15th goal, after Caitlin Schotter racks up her second of the game, the Knights easing their foot off the gas a little bit, or so it would appear.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like you can see a physical change in their play. There's not much of an issue here to be pushing the ball upfield. Just kind of chew out the clock when it's going to be running for the rest of the match.
De Leon Portillo leaves it all the way back for Welsh. Baldwin gives chase, picked off there. That's Schwartz. Schwartz now pushing it upfield, and here's a chance for the Maccabees. Schwartz doing it all herself, finally gets some sort of relief. It's still loose. The Maccabees looking just to string anything together. Good defense there from Barone. Barone gets it to Mora. Mora and Barone trade places. Mora just trying to get it upfield, gets it to Tubbs. Back to Mora. Mora waltzes it inside the field circle. Sorry, inside the midfield circle. Gets it to Hansen, who gets it back to Welsh. Sends that one towards the middle of the field. It's Schotter. Deflects it to Nacarado. Goes all the way across for Barone. And so, Bob, we're back here tomorrow night doing our first men's soccer game. The men's Knights soccer team is here tomorrow night. They play, I believe, SUNY Delhi. That is another 7 o'clock start.
Yep, SUNY Delhi tomorrow, non-conference matchup. I'm actually not fully aware of how good SUNY Delhi is, but of course I do my research as I should as a color man, so I will be giving you all the info before we get started tomorrow night.
And I'm looking forward to that. I mean, our first men's broadcast of the year, Bob. I mean, the people, for better or for worse, they're going to have to get used to our voices. I mean, we're going to be calling soccer all fall.
Just about, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say we have annoying voices, so I can't imagine it's going to be too much of a complaint to listen to us all fall.
I mean, we're 2.5 games in. Nobody's complained about us yet, at least not to our faces.
Yeah. Not heard a few compliments here and there, so I appreciate everyone back home that watches and any family members that might be watching our streams. Of course, it's wonderful.
Not just anybody at all watching our streams. I mean, it's frankly an honor just, spending your Tuesday night with us.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to spend a Tuesday, but I can't blame you if you want to listen to our voices for an hour.
It's a fantastic way to spend a Tuesday.
Hey, man, a Knights dub is always a great day.
Beautiful night. A Knights W, again, is in the cards. I can't complain.
Not at all. Nothing to complain about here.
Here's Thanko. Gets it for Tubbs. Tubbs, intended for Mora, off the foot. It'll stay. It won't stay in play. Mora elects to let it go out of bounds. It'll go the way of the Maccabees.
And of course, it's a little obnoxious to try and nitpick or complain about anything when you're up 15 goals, but there's generally nothing to mention that the Knights have done negatively in this game. They've played a really, really strong match.
No, I mean, Bob, we call it how we see it. We've made that a point, but there's, again, just no notes. I mean, 15-0. It's hard to find stuff to be mad at, and frankly, up 15, I'm not going to look for things to be mad at.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to be getting into some post-game interviews here. I might be asking somebody what their favorite type of pie is.
Oh, I know exactly, well, because we have to pick out a player of the game. That honor's been bestowed to us. But the problem is there are so many viable options. I mean, with 9 different goal scorers and 6 different multi-goal scorers. I mean, again, it's like asking someone to pick their favorite flavor of pie.
Yeah, really, it's equivalent of a Thanksgiving feast tonight in September.
Whole bunch. Thanksgiving's an underrated holiday, I think.
I do love Thanksgiving.
Big fan of Thanksgiving.
Man.
I mean, I know a lot of people have their opinions on it, and I'm sure for good reason. But I can't be mad at I can't be mad at a good Thanksgiving.
Of course. Full array out, and the entire family sitting down. You guys get through prayers or whatever pre-notions you do, what's the first thing you're grabbing?
Well, man, the thing is, I was a picky eater for like 90% of my life. And to a capacity, I still am. But I mean, give me a turkey, or not an entire turkey, obviously. So that pass towards the middle. Still loose. Hansen has it in the box. Elects to work her way around the defense. Sends it all the way back towards midfield for Welsh. Give me turkey and a sweet bread roll, like a sweet Hawaiian roll.
Do love a good roll with dinner. I've always been a croissant guy. My family's big on making croissants.
I'm with croissants. I'm a big fan of baked goods.
Baked goods.
Actually.
Unbelievable. I love a good pastry.
Of course. The chocolate croissants from Starbucks have been a staple of my life for almost like 15 years
Those
now.
are the best things ever. I love chocolate croissants, period.
You got to get them heated up, though.
No, of course.
Getting them warmed up is an otherworldly experience.
Have you had them from Panera before?
I can't say I have.
Do you have a lot of Paneras out in California?
I do, but
I
I mean,
love Panera.
to be completely honest with you, I have never once thought I want to go out to eat. Let me go to Panera.
It's a great lunch spot.
Yeah.
My mother and I go to Panera quite frequently.
I know people in my family are big fans, but I never really caught on.
No, of course. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm a huge sweet potato guy. It's always the first thing I'm putting on my plate at Thanksgiving.
As Baldwin works the ball all the way back to Linan. Sweet potatoes is an interesting pull.
Yeah, I'm a fiend for sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes with marshmallows on them.
Are you a fan of the sweet potato fries we have here on campus?
I don't mind them. They're a little, they're not crispy. As Tanko's here through.
Hansen leaves it for Tanko. Tanko all alone. Waltzes her way inside, and she scores. That's goal number 16. Tanko's second of the night. The seventh multi-goal scorer from Mount St. Mary.
Well, and she had a year and a half there to pick out what pocket she went to, and she looked left and just hammered one home to the right without really giving much of a thought there. A lot of conviction into that shot, a little bit of venom behind it, as some might say. So wonderful goal there for the striker.
Tanko one-on-one. She's scored two of the last 3 goals for the Knights. Tanko now comes off.
Of course, great to see the Mount striker that's been played a really hard 2 matches over the weekend get some goals here to get her season started.
The Knights' offense just masterful. I mean, 16 goals, 27 shots. Just, I mean, video game numbers, frankly.
Yeah. It's like when you're playing with your little brother and things just get out of hand.
So the Knights just on cruise control likely for the rest of the game. And I mean, they have been scoring goals has clearly not been a priority this half, but when you get an opportunity gift wrapped like the one Tanko just had, I mean, it feels almost impolite to turn that down.
Yeah, you got to take it home. I mean, I can't use the phrase I'm thinking of right now, but it would definitely not be. It's a very disrespectful thing if you were to just give away that possession.
Hansen, good pass up ahead. Here's Tubbs. Tubbs all the way inside, completely alone, and she scores. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a hat trick for Morgan Tubbs, the sophomore from Pine Bush, New York. And it's 17-0.
That's a score, man. 2 touchdowns and a field goal here. The Jets are having a good night for our local sports fans in New York.
The Jets might not score 17 points all season.
No, MetLife is not going to see that many points. I'll tell you that.
From either team.
Sometimes I forget that both teams play there. How do you manage to get 2 such just like sad teams in the same stadium?
Eli Manning was pretty good for a little bit there.
Man, he was it.
I mean, he was, for whatever reason, he managed to beat Brady's kryptonite. I don't know. Twice. Yeah, I don't know how that ended up being Eli Manning, but I'm glad there was someone.
He was the chosen one.
Exactly. Him and Nick Foles. And so
Yeah,
Tubbs with that goal becomes the first goal with a hat trick here tonight. So she leads the pack of the 9 different Knight goal scorers.
Man, 9. That's a lot. It's almost the entire starting 11.
Exactly. I mean, there's still 2 unfilled positions. So we'll see if anybody becomes number 10 and 11.
And, of course, a goalkeeper goal would be a slap in the face. That would be unnecessary.
There's Nacarado. Gets it. Gets it to Baldwin there. Sorry. A whistle and a brief stoppage.
Seemed to be an offside called there on Mora, I believe.
Water break. I mean, when you talk non-stop for 70 minutes and counting, it's bound to catch up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm still in. I haven't hit midseason form yet, Bob.
No, of course.
Neither of us have.
Very early on, we're getting warmed up too. finding our flow the same way the Knights are.
Oh, for sure. Now here's Schotter. Schotter works it inside. Here's Hansen. Hansen's pass. No man's land. Hansen able just to go and retrieve it. Here's Barone. Barone for De Leon Portillo. For Welsh.
And of course, I feel like I get hints of a very, very hungry side that wants to go find a playoff spot this year after playing this hard and this consistently in a conference game where you're winning 17 goals.
Oh, of course. I mean, beat the teams you should beat, but the performance the Knights have put up today, regardless of who it's against, you can't help but be impressed. Just complete domination on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, of course. And in soccer, it's a little bit different, of course, because you do get draws in soccer, and often, very frequently, your top flight winners are sides that aren't losing matches. It's not they're winning everything, but they're not losing because you can tie and still get points from those. And that it obviously seems a good sentiment when we're up 17 and we're going to secure 3 points here to start the year.
And that's a perfect start. I mean, 3 points to start off the year, 17 goals to open conference play. I mean, there's really nothing to feel bad about here tonight.
Yeah, definitely not. And for any inexperienced fans back home or casuals, I will not call you inexperienced. I apologize. You do get 3 points for a win, which will go onto your table standings. And if you were to draw a match, each team will split the points. You both get 1.
Now here's a wide open chance for anybody who wants it. The refs blow it offside. And so it'll go the way of the Maccabees. So, I mean, 17 goals, man. I mean, I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, that's insanity. That really is. It's
impressive. They've been doing it quite efficiently, too. I mean, 17 goals on 28 shots. I mean, that's, by this point, well over 50%.
Yeah, that's closer to, that's not close. What is that, close to 60% at that point? That's a lot.
If only
that's really good.
If I only had a phone that doubled as a calculator. So 17 of 28 is roughly 61%. So, Bob, almost right on the nose.
That would have been pretty impressive.
Would have been. I mean, we have a long broadcast. You'll get one of those right at some point.
Oh, of course. A blind squirrel's bound to find a nut every now and again, right?
No, of course. I'm waiting for the day. Here's Baldwin. Gets it to Hansen.
Not many acorns found for this particular squirrel, but one day, perchance.
One day.
There seems to be another line change being cued here by the Knights.
So the Knights just flexing the depth advantage they have. I mean, everyone has found, or it feels like everyone has found the back of the net at some point, and it's nine different people is frankly just crazy.
A lot, yeah. Nine's a lot. It's not easy to spread out the ball like that, but the Knights have found a way.
I mean, to start off, I mean, at the bare minimum, to have 9 different people score obviously means you'd have to score 9 goals, which is ludicrous in itself.
Did we just get 8 subs?
So the Knights go.
Is that a full change?
So I believe the Knights just empty the bench. A complete line change here from Mount St. Mary.
Impressive.
And I believe everyone, towards the end of the first half, everyone saw the field. But if they didn't then, they have now, certainly.
Of course. And, I mean, when almost every girl that was standing on the field already has scored a goal, I don't see any need to keep them out there for an extra 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
God willing, somebody gets injured or something, that would be a horrendous way for that to be happening in a blowout like this.
20 minutes and counting down. Coach Dolan emptying the bench. And the Knights, I mean, just wall-to-wall domination. I don't think this one was ever in doubt. But, I mean, again, 17-0. Can't say that was on my scorecard. Or bingo card.
Definitely not, no. I mean, almost doubling the total of Mitchell after the first match, and 9 is a lot.
I mean, having a +7 goal differential after coming into this game with a -10 goal differential, I mean,
that's one way to do it.
Incredible 180.
Oh.
Another offside.
That didn't look quite offside to me, but I won't argue in a route such as this.
I mean, the referees, I'm sure, just blowing the whistle. I mean, the referees, they aren't always right, but they're never wrong.
Of course, and they get paid to do that, and we get paid to do this, so we're in 2 different realms.
Oh, of course.
Calling the same sport.
Kick away now here for the Maccabees. Another whistle.
I don't know why we get a lull in play here. You will not get us this Saturday with the Lady Knights, but they will be going out to Newton, Massachusetts to play LaSalle University on the 6th of September.
When are we on the call next?
After this, we get the men's. I would have to check the men's schedule.
No, I was talking about that. I was talking, when do we get to call the women's team next?
Next women's game
It would
is
just be the next
going
home
to.
game.
Whoa, wow. We have a lot of away games. Unless I'm completely mistaken, I believe Manhattanville on the 27th of September. So the women go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-game road trip.
6-game road trip over the next 4 weeks. So, I mean, this is the last time we'll be calling the women's game for a while. What a game to go out on.
Yeah, really. Wow. We get to see some fireworks on the ink black night of the 2nd of September. Forgetting the date, and the month just started.
Yeah, I mean, college will do that to you.
Woof. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
I don't
Now
think
here's
I
a
had
chance here for
anything.
Robinson. She's on side. Robinson with room, plenty of room to work with. Walks it in and scores. Angelina Robinson picks up her second of the contest. 18-0 Mount St. Mary. Robinson, the 8th night with multiple goals.
Secure the brace there for Robinson, just being able to grab that ball, a side spinning ball over the top where she grabs it off the right foot and brings it in, tapped it home with the outside of the right. That's just an impressive goal to score for a winger.
And an already perfect night gets more perfect.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure where to go once you've already reached the top.
Yeah, it's just like adding ice cream to cake. I mean, it's just two great things. You can't get much better, you know what I'm saying?
Ice cream and brownies is probably way better, I'm going to say.
That is a good one.
Brownies fresh out and ice cream.
Dude.
I mean,
oof.
I think, you asked me about Thanksgiving food. I think if I had a dessert draft, I mean, brownies and ice cream would be the one.
We can get in some real rabbit holes with desserts here.
We got 16 minutes.
Oof, man.
Ice cream cookie sandwiches, that falls under
Those are
the baked good and ice cream
remarkable.
category.
Have you ever had like a cookie skillet, like warm cookie and ice cream, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Sensational.
I don't know if you guys have BJ's, the sit-down restaurant. I guys know you have, or I know you guys, at least
We
out
have the
east,
department store.
have BJ's, the department store. But BJ's, the restaurant, makes a remarkable cookie skillet. I have enjoyed plenty of those in my day.
I've heard Chili's is great for cookie skillets, but I've never actually tried one from Chili's. As our cameraman is giving me emotion here, he also likes cookie skillets from Chili's.
I mean, it is only 8:30, Bob. You have any plans after this?
After this one? Whew, I don't know.
Chili's trip in the cards for the Mount St. Mary broadcasting duo.
You a big cake guy at all? You like cake? I love cake.
Oh, of course. I don't know how you don't like cake.
That's-
I've had a chocolate cake for my birthday every day for probably 20 years.
Oof.
And come April, rest assured it'll be 21. It's Mahali centering pass. That one goes just high. Fornino on the other end of the box, able to track it down.
Godspeed, soldier.
The Knights perhaps looking for one more before the conclusion of this one. Still loose in front. There's Tubbs. Just gets it out of the goalie box, flicks it towards Fornino. So the Knights will start this one from scratch. Curious to see what direction this possession takes. As Tubb fires that one off the side of the head of number 35, Elza Kozlow. We hope she's all right.
Oh. That's a rough one.
Kozlow took that one right off the temple.
And as we alluded to I believe it was Friday when we were talking about the density of the ball, these balls for college are like hard plastic. They do not tickle. They hurt a lot.
Did come up. So, I mean, thankfully, Kozlow able to jog off the field under her own power. As a precaution, I assume she'll get looked at by the trainer. So
Right.
we hope she's all right.
And by most soccer rules, she will have to spend an allotted time on the touchline, but I don't know if they apply that in college.
So, I mean, a brief stoppage of play. The clock is running. Kozlow gets a cup of water. We'll see how the refs elects to proceed with this.
And it gets a little bit different with professional college. College, we have one trainer on hand, but in professional soccer, if a specific set of trainers have to come out and look at you, you are required to actually step off the pitch for a certain amount of minutes. Which is interesting, actually, which becomes a strategic thing.
So Kozlow appears okay. She rejoins the Maccabees out on the field. We're glad she's all right up here in the booth. And I don't want to say it's fitting, but we did just recently have this talk about getting hit by a soccer ball and how displeasant an experience that would be.
Yeah, I've taken enough deflections off the legs and the upper body. It does not. It hurts a lot.
I can almost guarantee that Kozlow wore that a whole lot better than I would have.
Yeah, I would have been probably still on the floor right now.
I would have
quite
been.
frankly.
No, I would have been halfway to the locker room by now. My night's over.
Kozlow's a trooper, and she's gonna wake up and go to class tomorrow after that one. God bless.
Certainly has my respect.
Woof.
That one finds its way into the box. Here's Mahali. Mahali works it outside, sends it way downfield. Giving chase is Sophia Light. Light rifles one across the field. Nobody home. Oh, and then here's Robinson giving chase, able to work it towards the outside of the box. I thought that pass was well out of reach. Centering pass now towards the middle. And Harrison makes the grab. Harrison to throw it in. Just out of reach of the intended target. Mahali gets a foot on it. Tondini to Tubbs. Back to Mahali. Mahali cross field. It's Robinson. Robinson puts the moves on. Gets inside. Sends it intended for Mahali. Mahali can't quite come down with it. Instead it is Tubbs. Tubbs back to Tondini. Tondini way back out. That's, I believe, Kellyanne Moran. Moran gets it to Light. Light working inside midfield. We'll get it to Robinson along the near sideline. 12 minutes and 15 seconds and counting down. Here's Robinson again. Left widely alone. Here's Mahali. Off the back foot. Leaves it for Tubbs. Tubbs rifles it to midfield back towards Light. And so I think tacking on that 19th goal does not seem to be a priority here from Mount St. Mary.
No, definitely not. I mean, in the sport of soccer, you really don't want to be going for 20 bombs. It's very unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I say that like this 19th goal is something that desperately needs to be achieved. I mean, I'm just curious to see how the Knights elect to play the rest of the half. I mean, because it's definitely been more pass-focused this half. But if an opportunity falls into the lap of the Knights, they've shown they're not scared to take it.
Yeah, that seems to be the commentary there is, if it comes your way, might as well.
Here's Dowd. Dowd along the near sideline. It's Robinson for Mackey. Mackey to Dowd. Dowd towards the Knights side of midfield. It's Light. Light tried to get it to Linan. A little short on the pass. Light leaves it for Dowd. They forego the plan to get it back to the goalkeeper. Here's the Knights now pushing in the right direction. Mahali for Tubbs. For Milburn. Finds its way back to Tubbs. 10:45 to play.
And I have to mention, I'm impressed by Ilana Schwartz still pressuring the back line. They're down 18 this late in the game. That's a testament to a lot of heart and grit playing for a side, being able to still pressure the back line this
Robinson giving chase with a step on the defense. Gets it to a centering pass. Mahali was there. Didn't quite get it. Mahali able to come down with it. And the Knights will just work it back towards midfield. Rifles that one. It's Light. That one off to the side, out over the end line, out of play. So, I mean, we're approaching single-digit minutes, and there's nothing to say about this game that hasn't already been said. But just what an impressive wire-to-wire effort for the Knights.
Absolutely. A very strong defensive effort. You just have to love to see that from the squad after having a little bit of a lull in the weekend to start the year.
A whistle from the ref.
And, of course, you're going to get into an intriguing spot here for Coach Dolan because you're winning a game 18-0 to start your conference play, but then you go on, what did I just say, 6 or 5? 5 straight? Six straight away games that are all non-conference matches.
Over a 4-week span, too.
Yeah.
So in the Knights. So
over the full next month, you're not going to be playing in your own barn, and none of those games will actually count towards conference. So you're going to be in a track race with other Skyline teams to make up all the games they're going to be playing in the meantime.
Yeah, of course. I mean, non-conference opponents, again, we've stressed enough that the games hold no weight, at least in the playoff picture. But, I mean, obviously those are games you want to go out and win. I mean,
100%.
This 100%. I mean, the next 4 weeks are 1,000% a business trip.
Yeah, absolutely. You're still working at the end of the day. It's just an intriguing aspect to not be playing any more conference games for the next month.
That is an interesting prospect. And the fact that none of the games are here.
Yeah, that is. I don't know how that shook out. That is really intriguing.
So, I mean, home field advantage certainly applicable here tonight.
Because I already said they're playing LaSalle. Then that following Wednesday, they'll be playing New Jersey City University in New Jersey. Oneonta, 3 days after that. 4 days after that, they're playing Rutgers Newark. And then 3 days after that is their first Skyline Conference game. So I apologize. They have 2 Skyline Conference games to end their road trip. They're playing Old Westbury, and then this ball's in here.
Here's Milburn giving chase. Keeps it inbounds, but opts not to take the shot. So, I mean, 2 Skyline Conference games to close out the road trip. I mean, that's the pinnacle. I mean, those first 3 or 4 games, I mean, you want to go get them, but, I mean, the first 3 or 4 games are designed to set you up for those last 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And after Old Westbury on the 20th to 24th on a Wednesday, they play Sarah Lawrence and at Sarah Lawrence's field. So you'll get 2 kind of Skyline games there, but before that, you're right. You're setting up 4 non-conference games to get yourself ready for those.
So the Knights set to become road warriors over the next 4 weeks.
Be a lot of bus rides.
And I'm looking forward to doing our first men's game tomorrow, Bob.
I'm ecstatic. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Here's Robinson working it towards the corner. The Knights, again, more so just feels like they're playing keep away by this point. Here's Mackey to Robinson. Has that one taken away. Headed towards the sideline. Maccabee's able to keep it in play and quickly taken back by Robinson. Just Yeshiva, the offense stalled out tonight, to be completely honest.
Yeah, absolutely. It just doesn't seem like they're finding that enough pressure to be able to get the ball out of their own midfield to go attack on the forward front. But there's only so much you can say. I don't want to beat down on a dead horse, but definitely not the type of night Yeshiva wanted to have after making the trip up here.
Mahali on the corner kick. Nobody remotely near the ball, so, I mean, reason to believe she'll send it towards the middle, which is something we haven't seen for every corner kick. That goes off Robinson, wide of the net, but still in play. Impressive effort there from Milburn to keep it alive. Mahali walks it in, just outside the box, fires, and scores! Emma Mahali rattles home goal number 19. That's her first of the contest, the 10th different goal scorer for the Knights. And, Bob, that one came from well outside.
Yeah, I was in a different area code. I mean, you said, I think in the first 10 minutes of the match, if I can verbatim quote, we're going to find one from the parking lot eventually. And there it was.
There it is. So Emma Mahali from way downtown. I mean, Harrison got a hand on it, unable to keep it out of the net. And a perfect night gets more perfect. I mean,
yeah, the cherries get sweeter.
It's like putting ice cream on a brownie.
So yeah, I think we've drizzled a little bit of chocolate sauce on it at this point.
Oh, it's whipped cream.
All of it, everything but the kitchen sink at this rate.
Oh, for sure. Emptying out the cabinet. Here's Mahali on the pass from Robinson. Gets it to Tubbs.
That does sound wonderful.
Tubbs to Moran. Moran to Light. 5:28 counting down. 19-0. And now, falling is the defense. Harrison, luckily, right there. So 19 goals now on 30 shots on goal. I mean, that's almost 2/3.
Yeah, that is.
That ball is hammered home from way outside. It's Christiana Mackey. It is now 20-0.
This Nickelback is rattling on here on the radio. That is an absolute firecracker.
That ball was launched.
Yeah, that was about a little over 25 out. That is a bomb.
And so the 20th one of the contest for the Knights, Bob, is arguably the most impressive.
Yeah, I mean, not to play up a 20-0 victory here, but that was an impressive goal nonetheless.
And if that goal does get attributed to Light, that would be the 11th different goal scorer. Oh, sorry, Christiana Mackey. My mistake. So I was right the first time. I just had the names mixed up on my head. So Christiana Mackey rattles one home. And so, again, the Knights have fielded a starting 11 of goal scorers tonight.
That's an impressive look for Coach Dolan here and his coaching staff, and that's definitely a great way to start to end out a minor homestand and get started on a road trip here. Sorry, I couldn't find the terminology.
So the Knights have now doubled they've just entirely, I'm not sure how quite to phrase this, but they've just complete 180 in goal differential, go from down 10 to up 10 in the span of a game.
Yeah, would you call it tenfold? I don't think so.
No, because tenfold means you would multiply it by 10. The Knights would have to win 100-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which,
That's
I mean,
definitely
honestly, it feels possible with how tonight has gone.
Yeah, really. It feels like Knights could conquer the world at this point.
Good pass ahead. It's Robinson. Robinson able to stay on side. Opts not to go for the fast break. Swings it up ahead. It's Fornino. Fornino, she has 2. Gets it to Milburn. You guessed it. She has 2. There's Mackey. She has 1. Gets it to Tondini, who I believe Tondini has not yet found the back of the net tonight, actually. Gets it to Mackey. Or Milburn, sorry.
Reminds me of like that.
That's Mackey.
It reminds me of that video. Have you ever seen that video that I think it's like an old lineman. They're interviewing him in high school, and he's just like, we'll go over the running backs. And he's just calling everyone a dog.
Yeah.
That's a great video.
I mean, that's a play. I mean, 11 different goal scorers is absurd.
Yeah, absolutely. Isabella Milburn, dog. Lily Tanko, dog. Everyone's a dog.
Just wire to wire. And, I mean, no notes, frankly, Bob.
Yeah, as a spectator and a commentator here, I'm just very impressed.
Wonderful night at the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Great night at the pitch.
Still 20-0, giving chases Tubbs. With all the love being spread among the goal scorers, Tubbs is still the only one with a hat trick, I believe.
It's impressive stuff.
Great stuff.
Tubbs, a sophomore from Pine Bush, New York. That's 2 out-of-staters. I actually don't know where Pine Bush is.
I'd be lying if I said I did.
Sounds,
If this were football, we'd be at the 2-minute warning, but it's not, so 2 minutes and counting down. There's the video on the Athletics Instagram the other day, and they're asking members of our men's soccer team where upstate New York begins.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that video, but as someone who's not from New York, truthfully, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have heard, like, people say that where we're at now, this city is the start of upstate, and everything above us is upstate. That's what I've heard.
I've heard that the consensus seems to be that it's like north of Poughkeepsie, but Poughkeepsie is not far from here. About half hour north from what I've gathered.
Yeah, quick train ride right up the river here. So I mean, yeah, I would understand that. That would make sense.
I mean, I think it's subjective.
Yeah, because before you get before you get up into Albany, I believe the Hudson Valley in Poughkeepsie is the most populated area above the city.
Yeah, or at least in the Hudson Valley. Because, I mean, I feel like Buffalo's a big enough city, but that's way out west.
That's west. Yeah, that's out near Toronto, really. Those are basically Canadians.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, that's more or less Canada.
More or less. Not to bring out fighting words here.
Under a minute to play here.
As a younger bloke, for the longest time, because I just knew that it was cold in Buffalo, I thought Buffalo was just pure upstate. And I remember talking to someone, like, online, and they were like, "You're just an idiot. What do you mean it's upstate?" I was like, "It's upstate, dude. It's cold." And they're like, "No, it's out west."
I mean, back when when I tell people I go to college in New York, I mean, everybody just kind of assumes you're talking about New York City.
No, of course. I've had a lot of people just immediately respond with, "Oh, what borough?" I say, "No, actually, no boroughs."
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful area of New York. And again, I mean, we've spent a lot of time tonight just marveling about how beautiful it's been. As that one's loose in front, and it's wrapped up by Harrison. So 13 seconds and counting down. And Bob, 20-0. There's not a whole lot you can say about that, but just the Knights, this is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, strong performance, and it's just a great way to end your homestand on the weekend to get into the road trip as we hit the final whistle here.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's the final buzzer. The Mount St. Mary Knights 20, the Yeshiva Maccabees nothing. Bob, I mean, I feel like we've covered everything, but have you any closing statements?
Catch us again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against SUNY Delhi with the men. Other than that, no, not really. 20 goals is quite a feat to achieve, and I don't know if we've actually done that before in the time that you and I have been here at school.
And a resounding win for the Knights. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your Tuesday evening. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me in the booth, my good friend Bob Hauk, and we will see you tomorrow night for men's soccer.
All right.